Good afternoon. I'm going to do the watch list for next week, which is April 20th, 2020. If you're not in the room, the link is in the description of the video, or if you're watching this on other social media platforms, it's in the bio. I wanted to see how futures opened up, and it's already down 25 points, so it gapped down. So I'll have to see what's going to happen overnight and if any news is going to affect tomorrow's opening or whatever. So we'll just have to watch overnight. But anyways, I have a list of the stocks to watch on the upside and stocks to watch on the downside. And I have, for the upside, I have Disney. Assuming that the market's in good condition and it's going up, Disney's got like a ascending wedge right here on the daily, and you can see right here on the 4-hour and hourly right here. So it gets over 10, probably 108. It's probably going to get up into the 113, 114 area. It could even get into the 120 if there's any news that comes out. So I would watch Disney for a long. Also FedEx. FedEx is setting up with like a big cup and handle right here, like the cup, and there's like a little handle and another side handle. So over 127, you can get into the 130s and even into the 135s for FedEx, assuming the market is good. Another one is Win. Win is doing the same thing. It's got like a cup and handle right here. So it failed to break out last time, but it could break out this time. So over 79 into the probably get to 87, then possibly even make a run towards 100 maybe, if it's got enough momentum behind it and there's any good news that comes out of Las Vegas or anything to do with the coronavirus. So things start opening up, or any news of it potentially opening up soon, it could make the stock go skyrocket for the wins and casinos and stuff like that. So I would keep an eye on Win. Watch for any news. BA, Boeing, I posted today. They have a lot of calls for next week, and so we'll be watching that for the long side too. Over one. Let's see. I'd like to see it get over right now it's closed at 154. If we gap down, so I'll say if we do gap down, anything over 154 into the 175s, I think that the Boeing will get back to 200 probably in a couple months. So they just got a contract too, or I don't know if they got a contract, but there's a rumor that Germany is going to buy a bunch of fighter jets from Boeing, so like 45 or something like that. So that's going to help them out. So the other one I have is Whirlpool. Whirlpool's got the same thing, a cup and handle. I haven't traded Whirlpool in a long time, so I'm not sure what the spread's going to be like. So we'll have to see what it looks like tomorrow and see where it ends up. But if it does get over like the 106.50 area, I would look for a pop into probably the 120s. Another one we have is McDonald's. McDonald's has been going up pretty well, so it's creeping back up into the 190. So if we can get over the Friday's high of what is it? Let's say 180. It gets over 180, it's gonna make a run to the 190s, even possibly even to 200. So, but there's a lot of resistance right here in the 190, 193. So at least 193 if it gets any momentum going up. So Costco is another one. I know Costco is like flirting with all-time highs. It's just they just keep getting busier and busier. It could potentially break out this time. So if it does get over the 323, it's going to go to 330 really fast if it can break the 325. Baidu is another one, assuming that the market is good. It looks like it wants to break out right here. Closed at 105. It gets over, and like I said, if the market gaps down, so anything over 105 would be something to grab for probably a run to 110 on Baidu. So those are the things I'll be watching for if the market is decent. And if the market is, Walmart doesn't really follow the market that much, but what I'm seeing on Walmart is that, you get like a rising wedge right here on the 4-hour. It's at all-time highs. It's got like we can see a divergence right here. Price is making higher highs and the histogram is making lower lows. So there's a divergence. So Walmart might be a good short. Lilly is another one that's showing a divergence. See right here, it keeps going up and the histogram is going down. So we'll be watching Lilly too, probably underneath, probably right underneath the 150, 350 to get down into the 140s. I didn't even say anything about the Walmart. Back up Walmart. Walmart does manage to get under 130. I would watch the pullback down to probably the 120s on Walmart. So I'm assuming that the divergence plays out. Now, just because it's diverging doesn't mean it has to fall. It can diverge for a while, for days, weeks, even months. So it doesn't mean anything. Apple's another one. It gets under the 277. I would watch it to fill the gap. Well, the gap is going to probably fill overnight, but down to 270 to even down into the 260 area for Apple. So I'd be watching Apple right here because of all these inside candles. It's getting ready to make a big move. So and right here you can see on the daily, right there, all clustered together at the top of the Keltner channel. So I would be surprised if it closes this 250 gap right down here. So be watching Apple. QCOM, it's looking the same way as Apple. It's all clustered together on the 4-hour in the daily. So it gets below this 74. It could probably come down here and fill the gap to 65. So, or at least come down here to the 71, then potentially the 68, then the 66. So on QCOM, so another one is Johnson & Johnson. This is showing a divergence. As you can see, it's making high. It's a big rising wedge right here. As you can see on the daily, it's getting ready to test all-time high, and they just had earnings. So the earnings look like they're pretty good, but it's diverging anyway. So it could be just like a sell the news event. I mean, the earnings came out and it popped on it, and it had 4 green days after the earnings, so it could pull back. So we'll watch Johnson & Johnson with the divergence going on. The last one is Target. Same thing, divergence on the 4-hour. You can see the histogram right there. You can see it here on the hourly too. It's just going straight up. It's went over on the daily over the Keltner channel. If it pulls back, I mean, I'm looking at underneath 110 to a 105, even perhaps a 101 on target. So that's what I'd be watching for the week on the bearish side or the bullish side, depending on what happens with the market. Any news that comes out, I don't think that it doesn't really seem to care about coronavirus anymore. It's going to be more about when is the economy going to open up, when stores are going to open up, or is there going to be other unknown anomalies that's going to happen, like China getting pissed off that the U.S. is blaming China for the coronavirus, and whether there will be actually some kind of action that comes out of that. So I don't know, more tariffs, maybe war talks, I don't know, who knows what's going to happen. But the fact that they're blaming China, which I guess you could probably kind of say they could, I guess it's debatable how you want to look at it, but when you stop pointing fingers, it doesn't always end well. So watch for something to happen with China probably this week. Maybe them retaliating, saying that, I don't know. It's speculation. Who knows what could happen? I'm just saying, watch for something to happen with China this week or next week. So the potential's there. So just be cautious of what could potentially happen. So that's going to do it for the watch list, and just have a good week.